Imagine you own a business. You have good products, you have customers, you have employees working hard, yet profits are not growing. You hire more staff, you increase marketing, you buy new machines, but growth is still slow. Why? Because in every business, there is usually one major constraint limiting the entire system. Today, I will explain the theory of constraints developed by Eliyahu Goldratt using a real business scenario that every manufacturer, retailer, and service company can understand. By the end of this video, you will know what is a constraint, how constraints limit business growth, how successful companies identify bottlenecks, a practical framework to improve profits without major investment. What is theory of constraints? Theory of constraints is based on one simple idea. Every system has at least one constraint. Think about a chain. The strength of the chain is determined not by the strongest link, but by the weakest link. Similarly, business performance is determined not by the best performing department, but by the most limiting department. Many companies try to improve everything: sales, HR, finance, operations, customer service. But TOC says find the biggest bottleneck first, fix it, then move to the next bottleneck. This creates faster growth with less effort. Chapter 2: Real Manufacturing Example. Let's take a furniture manufacturing company. The company produces office tables. The process is raw material to cutting to edge, banding to assembly to packaging to dispatch. Management notices delayed deliveries and increasing customer complaints. Let's look at capacity. Cutting section capacity equals 500 tables per day. Edge banding section capacity equals 300 tables per day. Assembly section capacity equals 450 tables per day. Packaging section capacity equals 600 tables per day. Now ask yourself, which department determines total output? Many managers say, let's improve all departments. Wrong. The answer is edge banding, because it can process only 300 tables. Even if cutting produces 500 tables and assembly can process 450 tables, the factory can still deliver only 300 tables. The bottleneck controls the system. Chapter 3: What most companies do wrong. Management sees delays, so they buy another cutting machine. Cutting capacity becomes 700 tables. Result: no improvement. Why? Because the constraint remains edge banding. Now work in progress inventory increases. Floor space gets occupied. Material handling increases. Confusion increases. But output remains 300 tables. This is exactly what happens in many factories. Companies invest crores in the wrong areas because they fail to identify the real constraint. Chapter 4: The 5 Focusing Steps of TOC. Goldratt proposed 5 steps. Step 1: Identify the constraint. Ask, where is work piling up? Where are queues forming? Where do customers experience delays? In our example, edge banding. Step 2: Exploit the constraint. Use existing resources better. Questions: Is the machine idle? Are operators taking excessive changeovers? Are breakdowns frequent? Is material always available? Suppose machine utilization improves from 75% to 90%. Capacity increases from 300 to 360 tables without spending a single rupee. Step 3: Subordinate everything else. Align the entire factory around the bottleneck. Do not produce 500 tables in cutting if bottleneck can process only 360. Produce according to bottleneck capacity. This reduces inventory and improves flow. Step 4: Elevate the constraint. Now invest. Buy another machine, add another shift, train more operators, automate operations. Suppose capacity becomes 500 tables. Now output rises significantly. Step 5: Find the next constraint. After improving edge banding, assembly becomes the new bottleneck. Now focus shifts there. TOC is a continuous improvement journey. Chapter 5: Retail Business Example. Let's take a retail chain. Sales are stagnant. Management thinks marketing is weak, so they increase advertising spend. More customers enter stores, but sales don't increase much. After analysis, they discover the real constraint is inventory availability. Customers are coming, products are not available. Marketing wasn't the problem. Inventory planning was. By fixing stock replenishment, sales increased dramatically. The constraint was hidden. Chapter 6: Service Industry Example. Consider a consulting company. Leads are coming. Sales team is closing projects, but project completion is delayed. Customers complain. Management thinks sales should slow down. After analysis, they find only one senior consultant approves all deliverables. Everything waits for his approval. He is the bottleneck. The company trains additional reviewers, approval time drops, project delivery improves, revenue increases. No additional sales effort required. Chapter 7: TOC versus traditional thinking. Traditional management says improve everything. TOC says improve the constraint. Traditional management says keep every employee busy. TOC says keep the bottleneck busy. Traditional management says maximize local efficiency. TOC says maximize overall throughput. The goal is not to make every department efficient. The goal is to make the business profitable. Chapter 8: Questions every business owner should ask. Ask yourself: 1. What is stopping my business from doubling? 2. Where do delays occur most frequently? 3. Which process creates waiting time? 4. Where do customer complaints originate? 5. If I could improve only one area, which would create the biggest impact? Your answers will usually reveal the constraint. Closing. Remember, a business does not grow because every department improves. A business grows when its biggest bottleneck improves. Find the constraint, manage the constraint, improve the constraint, then find the next one. That's the essence of the theory of constraints.